Hey guys, I am Adam. Welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary, centered by a higher power. That's what I think I'm going to call this video. I'm going to show 20 vintage cards in chronological order that I think all have a really nice centering for the card. And I know a lot of you will really enjoy vintage that's centered, of course. Probably just about all of you enjoy vintage, whether it's centered or not. But yeah, I can appreciate a vintage card that is sharp. I can appreciate a vintage card that is vibrant. I can appreciate a vintage card that has, fantastic registration. And I can appreciate a vintage card that is well centered. And of course, if it nails multiple categories, heck, that's really sweet too. And I can also appreciate a vintage card that's well loved, as we might say, that has lots of condition issues. That's been a journey for me to embrace that. This is in honor of Double D. He takes a lot of flack for being a centering snob, which he absolutely is, and he knows it. No, it's totally cool. He has some cards that are off-center that he will not get rid of because they have sentimental meaning to him or he really just loves the card. But he's on this journey. I think it's a really cool journey to just have this insanely centered vintage baseball card collection. And so I think that's really cool. And I know that many of you are value centering as well. And so you're targeting centered cards as well. But this is, for Dylan and for all of you. Well, for me, what about me? I like centered cards for sure. Actually, in many cases, I'd probably buy the card that's the ideal card for me would probably be a little off center top to bottom so that I do not have to pay a big centering tax, but yet it's vibrant. Registration is spot on, sharp. But there's a lot of things that go into a vintage card appealing to me. So it's some combination of the color, the price, the sharpness, the toning. The toning can, detract, but it could also maybe enhance and give it that vintage feel. As long as if the centering's just off a little top or bottom, or not too much left or right, might not bother me at all. So sometimes it's hard to say, but I know it when I see it. That combination of the card, the price, it's just speaking to me. Either just screaming at me, buy me, or maybe just saying, hey, I'm a really nice copy for the price. Why don't you go after me? And I'm like, you know what? You got a point there, because I talk to my cards because we're empty nesters now. And so my wife and I have talked about just about everything. So, what am I going to do now? Just talk to the cards, man. All right, without further ado, speaking of somebody that can talk a lot, that's me. Let me turn this camera around. Let's do it, man. Now, first, we're going to look at 20 cards that are off-center, just so we know what we're not looking for. I may have mentioned that earlier. There's a reason. You'll see why I'm doing that. Because I want to show them, but there's another reason too. So yeah, let's do it. All right, the 3 that are not centered. Here's the first one. Oh man, the 38 Goudey Joe DiMaggio in a pristine one. Check that out. Now, you can't hardly notice that it's off-center, but it's off-center to the left. I'm showing this because I love it, and I wanted to show it, but also because my buddy Dylan, he and I are both collecting the entire set of these with cartoons. Now, he's way ahead of me. He's been going gangbusters. His wife gave him a big head of himself. I guess she was trying to send him a message. I know Dylan won't mind the humor. So, he's going gangbusters. He's way ahead of me. I was a little hobby jealous, I suppose, but actually I'm happy for him. But, hey, maybe I'll catch up with him eventually. The whole hare and tortoise thing, we'll see. And then also, this bad boy is off-center in 2 directions. Not terrible, but it's off-center to the top and to the right. But you know what? I absolutely love it. You got the double X. This card You got double X because it's part of his name. Double M. This thing is just sweet, sweet. So yeah, also in honor of you, Dylan, you and I going after the 24 1938 Gaudi with cartoons. I would like to get the Hank Greenberg next. I don't know why, but those are kind of the big four out of the set because I've got the Feller. Going to show that bad boy in just a minute. It was my big 2024 national pickup. And then, I'll have 20 to go, but those will be the ones that tend to be less expensive. Okay, so here's the deal. This one's off center because it's cattywampus. But you know what? I tell you what, folks, out there in collector land, good luck finding one nicer than this. I mean, this is insane. The color, the vibrancy, the sharpness, the registration. Hey, the centering kind of averages out too. This was a big card, big card for me, and probably for most collectors, $2,000. But I tell you what, that $2,000 I think was actually, in my humble opinion, a steal. Not that, I'm saying I could make a bunch of money off it, but just a steal in terms of if you're trying to get that particular card and you're looking out there and you're looking at the eye appeal of the card, the freshness of the card, pack freshness of the card versus the price, I think that was a fantastic buy. So super stoked. Okay, so we just saw 3 cards that are not well centered. So I think when we're done with this, when it'll probably be some years for me because, I'm collecting other stuff too. But when Dylan and I, both get to the point where we've finished this up, if we are blessed to do so, his set will probably be better centered than mine. But I think it was Brian, High Pop Professor, that said that Dylan and I should do what Chris and Mike do, where they have the showcase showdown and just do a showdown on grades. We could do a triple showdown. Dylan, I think you and I, can judge fairly. We could do eye appeal, like who has the best eye appeal overall, the best number of, or who wins the eye appeal battle. Like maybe, they've got 15 out of 24 with better eye appeal. We could do centering, and we could also do grade. So we could do like a triple showdown. Once we get there, okay, those are the 3 that are off center. Man, you've been waiting 7 minutes, 8 minutes almost. Finally, to the centering, the 1939 play ball, Monty Pearson. I got a video on this dude if you wanted to check it out. There's other people that have done better videos. But I've got one. I got a mediocre video on this dude. He won a World Series game in 36 and 37 and 38 and 39. Actually had an amazing, pitching display in those 4 World Series, the 4 in the row for the Yankees. So he was a Yankee contributor. And wow, just the depth of black, like the richness of the ink here, the centering is just off the charts. Oh, something I should say. I was not talking about back centering. Centered by a higher power, I meant the front. The backs might just be centered by the devil or a lower power. Anyway, okay. My jokes aren't funny, but I'll probably live a long time because I laugh at them. I think they're funny. All right, now this card is probably the least centered out of the 20. So that was the first one, 1939. We're moving on to 1941. But I tell you what, I think this is really well centered for the issue. Did Teddy Ballgame have a great year in 1941 or what? So yeah. What's going on here? That's not on the card. There we go. Yeah, that is not on the card. Yeah, that's really nicely centered for the year. And hey, what the heck? The back is really nicely centered too. Yeah, so the 39 Monty Pearson, the 41 Teddy Ballgame. There's a certain Mr. Williams in 1939. I would love to have his card. Now, there's 2 types of people in this world. Those who have the glorious 49 Bowman Eddie Lopat rookie card and those who do not. Those that have the glorious 49 Eddie Lopat rookie card and those who don't know what they're missing. Now, here's the deal. I have 2 of these. The other one's really nice. It was gifted me by 11 hobby friends, which I'm really just touched by that. But it's not as centered as this one, so I'm showing this one that I picked up for a song later on. I mean, check out that red and that centering. So let's see. We're going to move Pearson and make room for Lopat. So I forget what number we're on, but there are 20 of these. So we'll keep working our way through chronologically. You're going to see quite a few of the Chief or Super Chief, because it just so happens that most of my Super Chief cards are really well centered. So you see some of those coming up. And here's the first one. The 1950 Bowman Super Chief, Allie Reynolds. Let me get some. Oh, man. Wow. Dylan, you're probably going nuts right now, man, because I know how much you love centered cards. Hey, the back of this is really well centered, too. You're probably going to be like making me offers on some of these. And I'm going to be saying, nope, my friend, you got to get your own. Anyway, yeah. Oh, that's such, that violet. And let's take a second look, shall we? I mean, you guys are in no rush. Or maybe you are, I don't know. Play me on double speed. I go pretty well on double speed. That violet in the background. And then you've got kind of that, fence with a sort of diamond pattern, but then you have the pinstripes. These were photos that were colorized. Fantastic. All right. I've shown this one several times, but hey, I love to show my cards many times. Still with 1950 Bowman. This was from a major dealer at a great price. Came up as a buy it now, maybe a couple years ago. I don't know. I'd have to look at my records, but in a Vintage Greatness 3, the registration. Those are not cows. They're a couple of infielders on both sides. I was kind of bummed out when I heard that because, I thought they were cows out in the field. Miller Huggins Field, but those are outfielders out in the field. Oh, yeah. My baseball knowledge is through the roof. Outfielders, because they're out in the field. Okay, there we go. All right, as I mentioned, we'd be seeing a lot of Super Chief. So we're moving on to 1951. The first top set, although it's a little bit different than 52 tops, so, that's kind of a different type of first top set. The Allie Reynolds. Red back. I think the blue backs are a little bit tougher. Really nicely centered on this red back, and this is something I think I got for a song. What a sweet card. And, the back was centered by a lower power. Most of these usually are, but the front, centered by a higher power. That's what we're talking about. Let's see. Where's my other for the, here we go. Now, I got a top loader with a little team bag over it. So it's nice and soft. So I use that when I'm displaying the PSAs with these wonderful custom made card stands from the Drew. So it makes them sit up a little bit more. That's kind of how I like to do it, And then the SGCs, then they're just perfect in there. But basically, I think Drew did a really nice job. I mean, hey, I don't have those skills, but he does, of just picking the right size where you've got versatility. All right, sticking with Super Chief, sticking with a 1951, the 51 Bowman. I got this bad boy from 707 Sports Cards on eBay, and I never buy from him because his prices tend to be high, just to be, open about it. Like, they seem really high to me, but 2.5? I mean, look at that bad boy. The registration, the color, the centering, the sharpness. And I'm like, oh yeah, all day, twice on Sundays, I would buy this. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't much. It looks like there's some staining from tape that was on there at some point or something. Does not bother me a bit. In fact, I think it adds some character. So we got a couple of 51 Super Chiefs there. And Believe it or not, we are still, as we go through our 20 cards centered by a higher power. Now, this one is maybe one of the more off-center in this group, but you know what? For a 52 top Super Chief, I think this is really nice centering. In a Forever 4, in a Fantabulous 4, I mean, the centering, the sharpness, the surface. Come on, man. I mean, if Biden saw this card right now, he'd be like, come on, man. I guess I should probably, to be equal, say what Trump would say. He'd say, he'd probably say that, I don't know, that, I don't know what he'd say. He'd probably say that he centered it or something. Okay, I'm going to get myself in big trouble quick. Anyway, yeah. So that's a beauty. That's a stunner. That's a 1952. I'll just tell you a little bit about my philosophy. Here's what I strive for, and I sometimes miserably fail. But things I cannot control, politics, things at work, all sorts of stuff that can stress me out and bring me down, I strive to let it go, not let it dominate my mind, but focus my time on things that bring me joy, that energize me, my faith, family, friends, collecting, those sorts of things. Now, do I miserably fail at that goal at times? Absolutely. But that's what I strive for. All right. Now, sticking with 52 tops. Now, this one, is, one of the less centered out of this group. But I tell you what, for this particular issue, just like the 52 tops Ali Reynolds, this is really nice centering. And not only that, for a 2, I mean, come on, man. This is too good to be 2. We're talking eye appeal technical grade. It's got tiny little specks of paper loss, a little bit more on the back, especially most notably up here by the number in the baseball. So technical grade 2, okay, makes sense to me. I actually think I could grade as well as the professional graders. I really do. Now, here's the deal. Authenticity, that's where I'd have troubles. Or altered cards, I'm not claiming I could catch all of that. So huge caveats here. If they were authentic and had not been altered, then I think I could grade them as well as the major graders. But if either one of those things is in play, then hey, I don't have the expert. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I think I could grade as well as them, just in terms of, coming up with a number that's pretty darn good. So with this particular card right here, technical grade of 2, I buy it. Centering is amazing for the issue. The ink is really strong. The registration's amazing for the issue. The sharpness. So the major grading companies grade on technical grade. I think SGC factors in eye appeal somewhat more than PSA. If we just went eye appeal, if eye appeal got a greater percentage of the grade than it does at this point, this might just be like, it would be higher. It would be higher for sure. Because I'm telling you what, man, or woman, or whoever's out there, if you go look on eBay right now, I have not looked at these on eBay for some time. I bet if a person went on eBay right now and looked at every single 52 Tops Yogi Berra graded for sale, eye appeal wise, my sense is this would probably hold its own or blow against all of them and probably blow virtually all of them away. That's my sense, just eye appeal wise. Even though technical grade, where the heck are we? I'll put the two 52s together. Even though technical grade, is a 2 and fair enough. So super stoked about that. All right. Working on our 20. Not sure where we're at, but we're getting there. I should probably speed up a little bit. I've shown this before, and I'm sure I'll show it again. In a tremendous 3. Who needs 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s? Who needs them? When you've got this, look at this bad boy. Here's the deal. That is perfect registration for this card. Johnny Mize was a bat connoisseur. They say that the Giants carried two chests of bats, one for the rest of the team, one for Johnny Mize. Back is centered by a lower power, but looks really, really nice. Yeah, all right, let's put that over here. Wow. Oh yeah, let's bring this up a little bit too. Wow. All right, we're sticking with 52, but we're moving to Bowman. Oh, man. 4.5. You got to double that. Times 2 on this. I need to put a 2x sticker up here. We're going to 2x this grade. So I'm calling this a 9. Eye appeal of a 9. Man. Little print line bugs the hell out of me. No, I'm just joking. Does not bother me a bit. Does not bother me a bit. All right. Let's see. We'll move this over here. And as mentioned, the Super Chief is showing up again. I think this is the last time we see the Super Chief in this video. We've made it to 1954, the Bowman. Really nicely centered. You know what I think about these cards? This looks like a sticky note to me. At first I thought these cards, I don't know, I just thought they were kind of blah or something. But when I saw Mike, Baseball Collector, show all his whole Hall of Fame run, and you see the different colored sticky notes or whatever they used, actually I think it looks really cool. What an image. What an image. And that's a beautiful card. This guy, one vote from the Hall of Fame. Tell you what, as a closer and as a starting pitcher, he was par excellence. And check out the back. Pretty nice centering. Nicely centered on the back, but I love the back design. And by the way, this is, pause if you want to read this. This is one of my favorite write-ups on the back of a card. So, let's see. I guess we'll go over here and we'll put up the Super Chief. And now, Dylan, I know you're going to love this one. Got a heavy hitter here. You mentioned this particular card of mine in a recent video. Just Hank. The Hank Aaron rookie card. Man. Glorious print dot. Wow. Man. That, my friends, is one super sweet card. Shout out to Billy Ballgame, maybe, but I hung out with him at the National. We were staying in the same place and the frat house, and what a great guy. And he got himself a Too Good to Be Two Hank Aaron at this year's National. I'm so stoked, so happy for him. All right, what's a Vintage Sanctuary video anyway without showing this card? The man who needs no introduction because he is the man. Red Heart Dog Food. Now, by the way, this is from back in the day where they weren't eating your dogs or your cats. I'm going to get myself in big trouble. But the dogs and cats were eating the dog food. All right. Most people don't watch most of my videos anyway, so I'll probably be fine. Is this card insane or what? Is this card insane or what? Wow. Whoa. Now we are looking at a couple of heavy hitters. That is for sure. Oh, I was wrong. The Super Chief is back for 1955 in a sweet, sensational 6. I mean, come on, man. Look, is that guy intimidating or what? Is that guy intimidating or what? I mean, now this is insane. The centering and the lack of chipping on a 55 Bowman. This card is insane. And I got it for a song. The back is kind of nicely centered too. Yeah, this card is just amazing. All right, we're getting down there. We're going to have some Hanks. We're going to go through a little Hank trio here because I happen to have some centered Hanks. This was from my first National in 2022. Got a great buy on this. This is absolutely a Gem Mint 4.5. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is it's got eye appeal that's absolutely off the charts, even though it got assigned a 4.5. I mean, oh yeah, a lot of corner wear there. That's bugging me. Off center. Oh, a lot of print defects over here. Having a hard time even looking at this thing. Yeah, check that out. Check that out. This video is going to be over a half hour. I can't believe it. Oh, back is really well centered. Dylan's going to be calling out to me and making me some offers. He's probably got a better centered one. Look at this. A little bit off to the bottom. His is probably better centered. But I thought this was pretty darn... Is that sweet or what? From my birth year, I used to think the tops from my birth year were kind of blah, but now I really like them, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I don't like when it comes to vintage cards. Okay, we're getting there. This is not your ordinary 1968 in a 3.5. This is your Milton Bradley. That is part of the... They have, like, I think some football cards and other cards, so that would be, I believe, part of the white that was on, one of the other cards on the sheet. Maybe a football card. So that's actually one of the ways you can tell that it's a Milton Bradley, which is tougher from the Milton Bradley game. 3.5, beautiful. Super centering. And the back color's a little bit different. I forget which is darker or whatever, but back's a little bit, or which is more yellow or orange. But on the Milton Bradleys, back color's a little bit different. So, it's a little bit nuanced to tell the difference, but what a beauty. Now, somebody might ask, would I want the regular non-Milton Bradley as well? Sure, absolutely. Wouldn't mind having that someday. That'd be sweet. But, that's not really a big priority, most notably since I have the Milton Bradley. All right, continuing on, our last Hank, the 69 Topps. Let's get some nice, there we go. Focus going on here. Check out the center. Whoa, come on. Don't give up on me now. Come on, focus. I think it's trying to focus on the cards in the back there. Maybe if I bring it over here, I don't know. But, yeah, really nice centering in a Forever 4. Just a little bit of, some sort of little paper break or something up there. Just a little bit. That's why it's a 4 instead of a 12. Well, I guess you could maybe find a couple other little things there too. But to me, just an absolutely stunning card. And we noticed something here that Topps sometimes did, and that was reusing photos. And, they wouldn't even try to fool you by waiting a few years. I mean, these are back-to-back years, same photo. Those lazy scum-sucking dirtballs. All right. Okay. Believe it or not, this has all been vintage baseball. But we've got one basketball. We're moving to 72-73. Centered by a higher power. Another Gem Mint 4.5 from the 2024 National. Whoa. Whoa. Is that insane? Is that glorious or what? The back was centered by a lower power, as you can see, but the front, oh my goodness. 4.5. It's pretty ugly. I can barely stand to look at it. All right, let's put this here. We are down to one. Down to one. I'm going to kind of do this here and move that up a little bit. There we go. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to make some room here. Here it comes. Number 20, centered by a higher power, the 1973 Chuck Norris rookie card in a sensational 6. Wow. John Hilton rookie card. There he is. Oh, getting too close. Wasn't sure how I'd feel about a multi-rookie card. I'm not sure if I could tell you exactly why. I mean, hey, Chuck Norris is on there on the right, but this card I absolutely love. And I'm not just saying it. Of course, I try not to just say things, but even with the 3 people on there, I just absolutely love this card. You got really good, solid, great player. You got a guy who did very little and had some injury woes, and then you got, in the eyes of many, best third baseman ever, myself included. It's almost like a microcosm of, like just this John Hilton dude, just to get into the MLB. Amazing. But yet he did very little. Really solid. Best ever. Or right up there. It's like a microcosm. Check out the back. All right, we're ending with back's not bad either on centering. Back's looking pretty nice. Let's put this up here. Let's see. Let's get this back here. Wow. Let's turn this around for an outro. I hope you enjoyed that. You know what? Play me on double speed. If you give me one card, I'll find a way to make a 30-minute video out of it. So, you got to love me if you want to go to heaven. Thank you for sharing in my joy. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time in the Vintage Sanctuary. Take care, my friends.